Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Linda Boache, your host, and I'm a career and mindset strategist for students and young people. What that means is I help with careers advice, so CVs, cover letters, how to be a professional, all the practical career skills, plus the psychology of it, mindset. So mindset is a list of beliefs and attitudes that we hold to be true, and that guides our decisions and our actions. So that's what I do, careers and mindset, to help you be successful in your career. I'm joined today by Lily in Australia. Do you want to say hi, Lily?
Hi, coming to you from Melbourne.
Melbourne, Australia. And today we're talking about working abroad, and we're going to do a live session. This is the first of many, I'm sure. So Lily is really brave for stepping up and being the first one. Woo! And we'll be talking about her career. It's going to take a maximum of 30 minutes, 40 minutes maximum. We're going to go through a coaching session, and this is very similar to what I do with my clients. It's a live coaching session. We'll ask a few questions to get to know Lily, and then do a few recommendations. And then I'll talk to you as well about what I offer to people. So we'll get started. And please do join in if you're thinking of working abroad, if you've had similar experiences, if you've got any advice, if you relate to something, like, support, share with your friends as well. Anyone that's looking for a job, do share your profile, because this could help people, and that's why we do it. That's why we're not doing it privately, and we're sharing it with the world. So do like, share, comment, engage, and let us know that you're watching. All right, so we'll get started. So do you want to tell us a bit about yourself, Lily?
Yeah, sure. So I was born in Spain, English mom, Spanish dad. Moved to England when I was in sort of secondary school. Then moved to America, and then moved back to England for university. So I've had a couple different countries going on. But yeah, studied mostly in the UK. I did biochemistry at Aston University. And yeah, that's my very quick background.
Brilliant, biochemistry, wow. Smart one here. So,
well, I pretend.
So I'm really excited to connect with you today. We're going to go through a series of questions, and you can tell me a bit about your career situation, and I'll see if it's a good fit for what we've got, what I offer, and then we'll do some recommendations at the end. So keep watching. So in 5 short sentences, Lily, tell us a bit about your career situation right now. What are you up to?
Okay, so right now I'm working in hospitality, just temporarily. Ideally, I would like to work in the science industry, and I kind of say that as a blanket statement because I'm not really too fussed about which company at the moment or what I would be doing, because I'd love to get, ideally, a job here that offers sponsorship so that I could stay in Australia. So obviously in that situation, I can't be too fussy. And I'd love to get, into a position where I could move around potentially so that I can end up where I would want to be. So yeah, if not, I would have to leave Australia. So that's not what I want to do. And then I have no plan.
So what's the time limit on this? How long have you got to stay in Australia?
Yeah, I'm here on a 1-year visa. So I got here in March. So it would be until March 2018.
Awesome. Okay. And what's the biggest challenge for you right now?
I guess, so there's a limitation on the visa I'm on, which is you can only work for one employer for a maximum of 6 months. So obviously that means, yeah, in that amount of time, I have to impress them enough to want to keep me and pay for my sponsorship, pay for my visa. So yeah, that's a little difficult because I guess when they've got residents here who could do the same job and not have it, that's what they're going to go for. So yeah, that's the biggest challenge, I would say.
Awesome. I'm going to be writing some notes on what you're saying. So if I do have my head down, that's what I'm doing. So the next question would be, how long has it been an issue? Or how long have you thought, I want to stay in Australia?
Probably only a few months in that case, because I graduated from Aston in 2015. So that was July. And then I came to Australia the first time in November that year. Spent the entire year just doing the backpacker, traveling, working kind of as I went sort of thing for that first year. And I did the requirements to get my second year visa, went back home for a few months, and then have recently come back, as I said, March this year. So it's only this time around that I've been seriously looking, working on networking with some contacts that I have. So it's only been a few months so far.
Okay. So where's home when you said you went back home? Where's home?
Well, technically America it was in that case, but because that's where my parents live. So yeah, I was near Boston for 4 months. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And what have you tried so far? So you were talking about networking. What have you tried so far that hasn't worked, or do you feel isn't being as effective as you'd like it to be?
Yeah, so I've been in touch with some recruiters and like specifically science recruiters. So as I said, I've contacted a few. Some of them are sort of won't even touch me. The working holiday visa is a big turn off for them. So with the ones that have, though, they've been, helpful. They've I've either had like an interview with them and they've gotten to understand my situation and are kind of working to help me. So in their case, they're looking for more short-term contracts, so 3-month contracts or maternity leave sort of situations where I could jump in and it'd be within, they don't have to hire me as a full employer, so there's no issue there with the visa restrictions. But so far nothing's turned up yet. Okay,
brilliant. So you have done stuff and things are on the way, and you are getting into applications.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. So as I would say, like I have some leads that I'm working on, but they're just still coming up, I guess.
Okay. And what would it mean to you to achieve this, to be able to get the sponsorship and stay in Australia?
That would be amazing. I've fallen in love with this country, and it sounds so cliche, especially because I did my first year visa. I spent the first few months just in Sydney and just working and trying to save up for the traveling. And I think I got in this mindset of save up, and then you'll be able to do, a few months up the East Coast. And yeah, I remember thinking, like, I don't get why everyone wants to stay, why everyone loves this country. Like, I was only working, so I hadn't seen anything yet. Then when I did the traveling, yeah, I loved it. And I met so many people, and it's been like such a great experience that I think I'm going to remember forever. So this country has become somewhere I see myself staying at and want to be at.
Okay. Oh, that's so inspiring. Has anybody watching been backpacking Australia, been in Australia, love Australia? Do come and let us know.
Yeah, I hope so. If not, do it.
Yeah, get in touch with Lily. She'll sort you out with what to do in Australia. Okay. And why is it so important to you? Why Australia rather than anywhere else, or why your sort of field rather than anything else?
Yeah, I guess I just love science, and it's the type of subject that I've not necessarily always been the best at, or top of the class, but I've always been so interested in it and loved it. And I think I'm the type of person who needs kind of a purpose behind what I do. Like, I find myself while doing the hospitality stuff now, I just don't care enough, which sounds so bad, but when people get
watching,
when things go wrong, or when people get stressed out at work, I can't help but think this, we're not saving lives here. No one's going to die because they got the wrong meal, things like that they take so seriously that I'm like, yeah, I need like a reason behind going to work every day. Otherwise I just feel uninspired, and I think I don't feel like I've achieved anything. So I just want to have that behind me and what I do.
I'm super glad you said that. if I don't know if you've been following my page, but I've just done a how to career post, and basically that underpins everything that I do or help my clients with or just preach about, really, because it's how to choose the career. And a cause, a purpose, a passion is so important, because that's what keeps you going. As you said, it's the inspiration that you need. It's the get up and go. It's the drive that's going to make you wake up on a cold day and think, oh, I really need to go in because we're working on this exciting project and this is going to happen as a result of the work I'm doing. So that purpose and passion is so important. So that obviously says that you are in the right position for you. Science is the place for you. And I love that you admitted, I'm not that great at it, but I love it so much. And you don't have to be. That purpose will keep you going. That's the first thing. So that's really important. And well done for picking up on that. That's awesome.
Well, that's why I think networking is so something. Obviously, anyone needs to do it if they want, or if they're trying to break into an industry. But I think for me, I'm so much better in person than I am on paper, because I am, a people person. I think it comes across how I feel about what I do or whatever much more than I can write down. So that's why the networking, meeting people or getting to know the right people is pretty essential, it seems.
I love that. We'll touch on that. So what's the worst case scenario? What will happen if you don't resolve it?
Then I would have to leave Australia by March, which would be sad. I mean, I think it's obviously flexible. If I, didn't find something, then that would be fine. But I think in an ideal world, I'd love to stay. I don't know why this country's got me, but it does.
Well, everyone has different reasons for what they do. So, but as long as you know that you enjoy it and it feels good, why not? Absolutely, why not?
Yeah. Well, I think traveling for work is definitely something I'd be interested in the future. So I'm not kind of turning myself off from any other potential countries, or even not to live necessarily, but to work at and visit. But at the moment, I think this is just where I feel like I want to be. So working on it.
Awesome. So just to summarize what we've discussed so far, you've been living, this is your second year in Australia. You're working in hospitality right now, but you're aiming to get a career in sciences, and you studied biochemistry, so it's aligned to what your degree is, and that's what you want to get.
Yes, exactly.
You've tried applying to companies. Do you have a rough amount of how many companies you've applied to so far?
I guess I would say roles, because sometimes I've applied to the same company, different roles. Maybe around 10 so far.
Okay, and then what space of time is that?
That's in 2 months, I would guess.
10 roles in 2 months. Okay. And you've done a bit of networking as well, which is great. So well done to you. What I absolutely love is that, one, you've immersed yourself in the culture. So you've done the necessary. It's not this distant dream. You're already in the situation, so you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Another thing you mentioned is you had some work experience in biochemistry.
Yes.
In a lab, did you say that?
Yes, that was my placement year, yeah.
Yeah, so that's great, because that gives you an in-depth understanding of the industry and what realistically what the role entails. So that should really help as well. So that's really good. You've done the immersion, you've got some experience, you're applying for jobs, and you're flexible as well. So you're not stuck to Melbourne or even Australia in the larger sense, but you're being flexible. So again, that's really realistic. I'm going to share with you some of what I do to help clients in this industry and in this situation. And I've worked with a number of people in different industries, in different situations, from footballers to professionals to researchers. And it's really fascinating to see the same sort of patterns coming up and the different challenges in the different industries. So I'm going to share with you a bit about what I help clients with, and then we'll go on to the recommendations for how you can amp up the search and how we can get you what you want and fast track that career. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I'm in. Help me.
Help me. So I ran a program called the Dream Kickstarter program, and it's the purpose of it is to help you shine in the professional world. It equips you with the right professional documents. So you've got your CV, your cover letter, your LinkedIn, application forms, anything you need to be that person on paper. So you said, I'm great in person, but I'm not the best on paper, so it'd be good to meet you. But you'll obviously need documents to back that up. So the program helps you design those in a way that makes you stand out from everyone else. That's great. And then you've got your personal development aspect of the module, to the program, which helps you with your self-awareness, how to present yourself as a professional, how to appear as an expert in the industry, your image, your professional image as well, to be able to network with people, and how to look at company socials and networking situations. And actually, even in social situations, in your hospitality, you never know who walks into the bar, and how to present yourself in that way. So that's what the Dream Kickstarter program helps with, and just have clarity on what you want to do, which I love that you have a clear picture of what you want to do. So that's a great start. Yeah. It's a 12-week program. It's got 4 modules, and it's divided into a mindset and personal development module, which is compulsory. And mindset is so important because you can't do anything without mindset, right? You've got to believe that you're going to get the job. You've got to believe that it is possible for you to stay in Australia to do that. So the mindset helps you with how to motivate yourself every day to get to that, how to put that your goal in front of you to be able to get to what you're working at. Then you've got your best on paper, which is the professional documents and everything that backs up the awesome person that you become. And then you've got professional success and visibility module, which is the 3rd module, and that helps you with appearing as a professional and just getting recognized as someone in the industry, or someone who's knowledgeable in the industry, or someone who everyone would like to work with in the industry. And then the final one is choosing the perfect one for you, finding your niche, using your strengths and the charm and the skills that you've got all around, and bringing that around into your professional badassery.
I like that.
So that's the Dream Kickstarter module. And there's more information on my website. It's www.careerandmindset.com. So do check it out. I'm sure there's a number of people watching that have already done the module, and they'll tell you how fantastic it is. One of my clients actually says it's the butterfly effect. Basically, you go in as a caterpillar, not knowing everyone's applied for a job before. Everyone kind of knows what they want to do. They've got a template, but it's a whole different ball game of actually applying for a job that's here, and the dream job, a career. So the difference between a job is gets you from A to B. A career is what you want to do long term, and it's on a different plane, and you need that sort of and that's what coaching helps with, to be that person. So you've got that lifetime career ahead of you, and you've got skills for life, and you can use it for many years to come. So that's the mission, and that's the aim of this program. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good. Sounds perfect to me, yeah.
Awesome. So going back to what we've discussed in your situation, I've written a few recommendations, and these are my top 3 or 4 or whatever recommendations. I'll throw some of it at you, and because you're the first ever to do the live, we'll go through as many as possible. Recommendations on how to help you stay in Australia and become the best scientist in Australia.
We'll come back to this live and be like, do you remember when I was trying to stay?
Absolutely. So the first thing is having the goal. So you mentioned about I want to work in science. But I'd recommend that you're super clear, crystal clear on what you want to do. Know from top to beginning. So within science, maybe I'd like to do this research, or this particular area of research really interests me, or I'd like to be able to contribute to this end of making this happen. Because that really helps you when you're talking to people. Like, why is this important for you? I know you studied science. I know you've got the degree in it. You've got the passion in it. But what would your legacy be in this industry?
Right.
It's easy to talk to someone about your legacy and your dream and get them bought in, and then they'd want to help you do that.
Yeah.
So that'd be great to get clear on your goals. So that's the first suggestion. You mentioned as well applying for 10 roles in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great start.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need to do a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you've started doing that, but we'll have to look again at your application to make sure that it's representing you in the best possible light. Mm-hmm. So making sure that your application has what I call the what's in it for me factor.
Yep.
So make sure that it's tailored to what the employer needs, the industry needs, right? So it focuses more on what you're going to offer the employer rather than a generic, here's me, this is what I've done, this is what I can do. Mm-hmm. It's more, I understand that you, especially with your cover letter, if you're doing cover letters.
Yeah.
So you'll say, I understand that your company is working on this particular area of research right now. This is how it fits into the wider scheme of things. It'd be great to, I don't know, find a cure for cancer because this and that. And here's why I'm personally connected to this mission, because I've seen so many people do this, or in my personal experience, this happened. Yeah. And it'd be great to be able to contribute, and this is my life mission, and this is how I'm working towards it. So in the journals I've read, or in the many countries I've lived in or I've had experience in, this is what I found, and sharing some of your expertise with them as well. That makes you stand out and makes it believable as well that you'll be a good fit for that. I'm glad you're right. You're making notes. I'll give you time to do that.
Yep, I'm catching up.
If you're watching live, if you watch the replay as well, comment. Let's know what your experiences have been, and just engage and give Lily some support.
All the help I can get.
Let's see those likes and those hearts coming in.
Okay, I'm caught up.
Awesome. So the third thing would be, so we talked about looking at your application and making sure it's the right one. And networking, that's a great way to get your foot into the industry, because 70% of jobs are not advertised. Mm-hmm. So when you're networking, make sure you're coming across as the best possible person you can do. And have you heard of an elevator pitch?
No.
Okay, so an elevator pitch is a 60-second pitch of why I should bother with you as a recruiter. So in 60 seconds, you should be able to convey your message in the most powerful and captivating way that anyone would think. And it's called an elevator pitch because it plays on the idea of you're in an office and you've got into the elevator with the CEO, and you've got 60 seconds from one floor to another to convince them why they should have a meeting with you, or why they should hire you, or have that, or why you're worth their time, because you'll never get the opportunity to have a meeting with them. So when by chance you've run into them in an elevator, how do you convince them? So I'd recommend that, nailing that. And again, that would consist of your purpose, what your overarching purpose, why you want to be in this field. Also, why what you have to offer to any company. Right, so I'll leave you to work on that. we won't do, we won't test you now, but Google that, have a look. There's loads of examples online, but it's good to nail that elevator pitch so that you're more effective when you're talking to people at networking events. Because everyone has a short attention span, right? So you want to be able to get your message across in the least possible time and make it so engaging. They think, oh, wait, I want to know more. Let's have coffee, or come and see me in my office, or let's talk about this more.
Yeah, you're not going to come by again and say, oh, wait, I forgot to mention this thing.
Exactly. You only get one chance to make a great first impression.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. The third thing, or the fourth thing now, would be combining that holistic experience you've got. Because it's good that you've got some work experience in the field, but so is everyone else potentially who's competing for this job, and especially in your situation that about sponsorship. So you want to talk about the science experience you've got, and that could be stuff that you've done in your degree. So maybe a project that you worked on in your degree that's relevant to what they're doing. So it doesn't have to be just work experience alone. Something that you researched whilst you're doing your degree. You want to talk again about the business experience that you've got. So you've worked in hospitality. So you're not just a pigeonhole scientist. I've got all this other experience that I can bring to the table, so the business, dealing with people. Because again, in any industry, you deal with people.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with the people that are providing funding for your research. You're dealing with everyone else that helps you do your experiments. And I'm going on what I imagine biochemistry.
Scientists.
Feel free to correct me. Yeah. I just imagine lab coats and goggles.
Yeah, that's your idea. Yeah, you imagine you're on your own when you're in the lab, but you're not. You've got your co-workers, you've got your bosses, everyone else. So no, that's true. It's always with people. Yeah,
the people skills that you've got from all the different experiences that you've done, your international experience, you've got a rich cultural experience. Don't forget to push that. So America, the UK, Australia, Spain.
Yeah.
The language, you speak Spanish as well, so the languages as well that you've got, and how you can communicate with people and build those relationships. That's a great selling point. That's just you.
Yeah.
You can offer that no one else can. So I would highlight that in your networking. I'd highlight that in your career, your cover letter, and any documents really that promote you. Okay.
Yep, I think I got all that. Yep.
Awesome. And so that transferable experience. And the final thing I'd say to really amp this up, and this is so important. Well, actually, there's two things. Find the top 10 companies or businesses that if you could land a job with them, make a list of them, that if you could land a job with them will completely blow your mind, would set you up for life, will change your life. Like the biggest people in the industries that you would love to work with. Because again, it's all well and good going to the small companies and just any company, but it takes the same amount of effort to target what you really want than to target the people that can't really help you.
Yeah.
You want to make a more tailored sort of search, list those 10 companies, and then you're going to target them. So for these 10 companies, you're going to do a tailored application to them. Whether it could start with an email, you can do a video to them explaining who you are, getting your face out there, getting them to know a bit about what you've done and what you can bring. Again, don't forget about what's in it for me, what's in it for the employer, what you can bring to them, that your international experience and everything else that makes you amazing. Go into their offices, visit them, talk about the projects they're doing, take that interest in them so that they can't ignore you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna target them, and that's gonna help speed up that process, because you're going straight for what you want. And I mean, if you go for those ones, you're more likely to get them, and hey, you've got the best outcome. So make sure your target as well. Don't ignore any other companies, but make sure that for those 10 or those 5, however many are in Australia, you're not ignoring them, and you're targeting them, and you're doing a lot more than you are for anyone else.
Yeah.
Also, about sponsorship.
Yeah.
Again, with those 10 companies, make sure you know what their process is. Do they sponsor? So before you apply to anyone, make sure, have a phone call conversation with them, visit them. Have they ever done this before? And one thing I always tell international students or anyone wanting to go abroad, make sure you know the process.
Yeah.
What it takes to sponsor people. Because you were saying there's some companies that wouldn't even touch you.
Yeah.
Because they don't do sponsorships.
Yeah.
People don't do it. People try and shy away from things that they're scared of, or they don't know the process. They don't want to know. It just sounds like too much work, so they're not interested. Right? There's HR people. There's HR people that are just in there going, well, it sounds like a lot of work. I don't even know how I'm going to start. So as an international person, and this goes to everyone, make sure you know the process. Know how much it'll cost the company to sponsor you. Know what sort of documents they need to fill. Because when you become that expert in that and say, well, I'm this citizen, and for me to stay here, you'll need to hire a lawyer, which costs about this much, get a quote, fill in these documents, which I'm happy to do, offer to help them as much as possible. I've known people that I've coached before actually pay for the lawyers for the company to do that.
Right.
Because to them, it's just a small cost for being able to stay in the country, right?
Yeah, long time.
So make sure you know the process, help them, send them a link to the government's website where to apply, and just coach them through the process. That helps, because it makes you an expert. It gives them confidence. They buy into you. They obviously, when you're talking to them by this time, they love you already. So if you're going to help them, it's gonna quicken that process. So that's the top tip for working abroad and getting sponsorship. Make sure that you know the process, and you can educate them, and you can help them with that.
Awesome. Wow. I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Well, what do you think? What have you got any questions? Any feedback?
Yeah, no, this looks really good. It's like, I think sometimes it's kind of hard to get a clear goal in my head of exactly what I would want to do, because the only experience I have in the industry is, the lab work I did in my placement year. So, when I'm trying to think about, and I think also being in my position here in Australia, I'm trying to get my foot in, anywhere. So I always say, I'm willing to do whatever job, I don't care. I think I sort of neglect the fact that I should be thinking about what do I actually want to do, and what would be, the ideal job for me to do. So that's a really interesting point that I hadn't, really considered lately, because I'm in this position of just trying to stay somehow, somewhere,
And I think that's important. That's an important point you raise, actually, because I always say people can smell desperation. And if you're going into someone saying, I want to do anything, I'll just do it. They're like, well, sounds like nobody wants you. Well, why do I want you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to be a charity, a charity people. So it's good to say, well, this is my background. This is what I can offer you, but I'm flexible, and I can do. So that becomes an and as well as everything I can offer. I'm great with administrative work. I'm organized. I can do this. I'm happy to get involved in this. I'm great with people, so I can help with different projects. But this is my selling point. When you've got things that are over and above what the employer is looking for, it's an and sometimes it comes across, just to note that sometimes it comes across as overqualified, you know, when you're saying, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. But there's a way to say that. So saying, well, this is my experience, but it would be great to work with you. And that's where tailoring that application comes in, because you're saying, I can do this, but I know that you're looking for this right now. So it'd be great to support you. And again, when you're going in, especially in an entry level position, people are looking for support.
Yeah.
So you want to say how great you are, but you also want to come across as humble. Because if I'm looking for someone to support me and do my admin work or be a junior researcher, and you're coming in going, I'm going to revolutionize this and that, and like, you kind of feel like, oh, this person's so clueless about what actually goes on in a lab, and they think they're going to come and be a boss and be my master. Like, oh. So make sure that you've got that balance of, here are my USBs and this is what I can help with, but I've seen some of the work that you've done. And again, when you've researched a company and you know who you're applying to, you can say, I've seen that your department or this lab has come up with these results and I found them interesting and I'd love to contribute to that. So that you also position yourself in the helping role, or I can make this even better, or I can help you get these results, or I can do these tests for you.
Yeah. So you're willing to learn and be part of their process. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that goes a long way. I'm getting a bit of feedback on the page. If you're watching, can you let me know if you can hear us and see us clear? I'm not seeing this on my page, but that might just be me, just because I'm on live. But let us know how you're finding this. And thank you for watching. For the people that I can see how many people are watching. Do comment, like, share. Just let us know who you are. So, and get involved and leave your comments as well. If you've worked in any other countries or you've had any different experiences as well, would love to hear from you. Right. Any other questions before we wrap this up?
I have a lot of notes here, so I will definitely be coming back to you with probably reminders of, wait, what did you mean when you said this? But no, so far I think I've just got just work to do on myself and my application and my process and everything. So no, I think I'm good so far. Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining me live. It's been amazing. And thanks for being the first one as well.
Yeah, the first of many.
Yes. And we will follow your journey and hopefully see you next year on another live in Australia in your new role.
Crossed, definitely. I love the confidence. I need to get some more of that in myself. So I appreciate it.
No doubt you'll do it. You're really talented and smart, and from working with you previously, and I know that you'll do amazing. And that we'll work through with the Dreams Kickstarter program. We'll work through it for 12 weeks. We'll get you becoming a butterfly, a scientific butterfly.
I love it. Thank you.
I'm excited to work with you. And thanks for joining me live. And thank you for watching as well. And that's where we're going to end that.
Awesome.
So, love from Brighton in the south and Melbourne, Australia.
Southern Hemisphere.
Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye.